everyone, welcome to another edition of FatChanceStyle Tidbits. Today we are going to go over something that's very important no matter what sort of dance you're doing or if you're practicing or if you're performing, and that is your posture. So your posture is important for three major reasons. The first is that it just makes you look better. If you come in with your good posture, you look more confident. You look like you're really showing up for your dance practice or your performance. The second reason is that it actually helps you to execute your dance movements. So if you have the right posture, it gives you better access to the muscles and the alignment that you need to properly execute the movements. And the third reason, and in my opinion the most important reason, is that good posture actually helps to protect your body. So when you're in good posture, you're making sure things are lining up correctly, so you're decreasing the chance you're going to kind of tweak something the wrong way and potentially injure yourself. So that's why posture is important. Let's go over what it looks like. So starting at the feet, you want them to be a comfortable hip distance apart. That's a little bit different from everyone, but you just want to make sure you're not teetering right next to each other, but you're also not straddling out really wide. You just want to feel nice and stable and comfortable. Moving up to your knees, you want them to have a nice soft bend. I know I'm wearing big pants, so it's a little hard to tell, but you don't want to lock them straight. You always want to have at least a soft bend in your knees. You want to think of them kind of as your shock absorbers, so you have that nice bounce to absorb anything you're doing anywhere else in your body. Your hips should be in a nice neutral position, so you don't want to rock them, really far forward, but you also want to make sure you're not swinging your hips back, because that can be really damaging to your lower back. So you want to just kind of play around and find where that nice neutral position is. Moving up to our rib cage, we want to keep that nice and lifted. Our lower body is very much about keeping us grounded and keeping everything in that sort of shock absorber state. Everything in our upper body is very lifted and proud, so you want your rib cage to be nice and lifted. It's not to the point where you're starting to bend backwards. You just don't want to be kind of sunken into your torso. You want to lift it up and be nice and proud. Shoulders should be rolled back and down and nice and relaxed, and then your head should just be a nice lifted, proud. You're not tucking your chin down or doing anything else weird with your head position. So those are the basics of what the core of your body's doing. In the FatChanceStyle format, there are three main arm positions, and these are primarily taken from flamenco. And the first is right down at your hips, and this is another position that can be a little bit different for different people depending on how your own anatomy lines up. But you want this part of your hand here, this kind of like flat-ish space between your thumb and your pointer finger, that's going to be resting right around your hip bones right here. And you have this nice soft curve through your arm. So that's the first one. The second one, you're going to keep that soft curve as you lift your arm up. So you can tell my arm's not straight to the side like this. It's curved a little bit forward, and it's at shoulder height. Some people think of this like you're hugging your friends, something I know we all miss doing. You can also think that maybe your arms are up on a shelf. You want to make sure that your elbows are nice and lifted in this position. And then the third position is up overhead, and again, you're keeping this nice soft curve. You're not doing, you're not straightening your elbow. You're keeping it nice and soft, and you're pulling your elbows toward the back. So one way that people like to think of it as if there's little magnets pulling on your elbows. So in this position, those magnets are pulling your elbows forward, so they're not sinking back like this. They're nice and active and being pulled forward. In this position, the magnets are pulling your arms up, so you're not going to droop your elbows like this. You're going to keep them nice and lifted. And then when you're up in this lifted position, they're pulling to the back so that your arms aren't collapsing in front of your face like that. And then you can have your arms, split between these positions. You can have them all different ways. But yeah, so that's the basics of Fat Chance style posture and arm positions. Thanks for joining me.